You thought the MOU between Alberta and Ottawa was bad? Think again. It's about to get worse now that methane is on the agenda. My name is Nico Lagan, and I'm too conservative for the conservatives. My co-host, Rob Ambrose, not woke enough for the liberals. We are the political orphans. Big news of the day. Mark Carney's green agenda attacks Alberta again. Ottawa announced stricter methane regulations. The move will slightly slow the projected growth of oil and gas production in BC, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. So here's a great post by National... Wow, that's redundant. Here's a great post by National Post about exactly that. But just a few weeks ago, Alberta signed an MOU with Ottawa. Smith agreed to charge Albertans a provincial industrial tax of $130 a ton. Then she agreed to the Pathway Project, carbon capture project, which we know that an MOU is not legally binding, but it does show intentions. Mm-hmm. Now Carney and his environment minister are saying that we need to address methane. Methane is the new problem now, and this will hit the oil and gas production. So here is the National Post. We might as well keep on being redundant. Ottawa announces stricter methane regulations. So the stricter regulations will be phased to begin in 2028 and will provide offshore oil and gas producers and transformers with two options to reduce methane emission according to the government's release. The first will be to prohibit the practice of burning off excess gas. The second option offers much more latitude to industry by allowing operators to design their own approach on controlling methane. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? This is really exciting day. This is a really exciting day for Canada, says Federal Environment Minister Julie DePrusen at a policy announcement near Vancouver on Tuesday, which is today. It's... Listen to this. Let's just... Because there's a part that they actually tell us how much this is going to cost us. These new enhanced oil and gas regulations are designed to significantly cut methane emissions while giving operators flexibility in how they want to comply. And here is the one of the first numbers that we see. Carney and Alberta's Premier Daniel Smith agreed to their recent signed MOU on energy issues to enter into a methane equivalent agreement on or after April 1st, 2026. That's the same date that the industrial provincial carbon tax is supposed to be agreed upon as well, with a 2035 target date and a 75% reduction target relative to 2014 emission levels. So not even from today, where they're producing less than they used to, from the 2014. And there's a nice place here. Their estimate is that it will add about $48 a ton on pricing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, you know, whoever that minister was, she's like, it's an exciting day. Is it really, though? Do you really think Canadians, like, honestly, give a shit about this? Do we give a shit about methane emissions? No, we don't. Nobody cares. But, you know, you create all these cabinet posts and you create all these jobs geared towards something and tell them this thing is a problem. They're going to come up with solutions for it. Like, to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And that's what's going on. I don't believe that the biggest issues facing Canada right now are the methane emissions. We've got so many real problems. It's just fucking focus on that shit first. Focus on the shit that's gonna that we're actually facing, like the affordability crisis, the housing crisis, the immigration crisis, There's a whole lot of
free
real
speech under attack.
There's free speech under attack. There's a whole lot of real crises to tackle. We don't need to worry about the methane crisis, because this is not crises. Because the methane crisis is not even in the top 10 of the crises facing Canada right now.
Not even in the hundreds.
No.
We literally produce just over 1% of the world's emission. Do we really give a fuck at this point? Like absolutely zero. Zero.
Nothing. It don't matter.
And here's the part, just before we continue, I just want to prove to you guys that that's the estimate. I didn't make that up. The government says the measures are expected to cost the oil and gas industry $48 per ton of carbon dioxide equivalent to reduced, arguing that it's one of the lowest cost opportunity to drive significant progress on our climate goals. It also argues that the cost will not be passed down to the consumer. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's break this down. Okay. Let's break this down. One of the lowest cost opportunities to drive significant progress on our climate goals. You know what would be less? Nothing. Fuck your carbon tax. Fuck your methane cost. Fuck your carbon capture. What a fucking concept. And then, of course, it also argues that the cost will not be passed down to the consumers. No, of course not. Because we all have to understand that the oil and gas industry will take a reduction on profit.
They don't like profit. They're famously
they believe
generous.
In climate change. They believe in climate change, and they know that this needs to be addressed. And the only way to address it is to take a direct hit to their profits. I can't even say this. Like,
this is crazy. They think what in what universe are they not going to pass this on to consumers? How are they, like, they're just living in fucking just la la land, man.
Yeah, man. It's, we're talking about freedom of speech being under attack. We're talking about one seat away from a liberal government majority, and that without an election. We're talking about our economy literally collapsing in front of our eyes. We're talking about still not having a deal with the US, a partner that makes that our partnership is worth just under $600 billion a year. Now there's a new report that indicates there's an expert that says to expect dramatically higher oil prices in 2026. I got a video about that. So not only are they taxing us with carbon taxes, are they adding methane costs in the next couple of years? They're adding carbon capture costs that's going to be passed to the consumer. Now it's estimated that we will see an increase on crude oil next year. That obviously this will not be passed to the consumer, right? Obviously, like we're not going to end up paying for that, right? The gas industry is going to take that as part of their profits.
Yeah, they would never pass that on.
But listen to this, like, let me just, because they connect, right? Those two stories connect, and then we can see how the people feels about it. But here is, I'm just going to show you, the video is like 7 minutes long, but we don't need to listen to the whole thing. It's just a small portion of the video that talks about crude oil, the per barrel crude oil increase that we're going to see, that we have to expect next year. So we're talking 132. So let's fast forward that too. So listen to about right here.
As we're seeing global inventory builds in certain countries, let's talk about how that's going to weigh on prices.
You bet. So our view now is the fair value is roughly $55 to $60 oil. That's directionally where oil trades currently. But in 2026, again, if we look at a world where demand's going to grow much longer than most people would have thought historically, at a time when U.S. shale production growth rates are stagnating, we think in a structural plateau, That's going to mean that non-OPEC supply is going to be peaking early in 2026 and flatline thereafter. The world then would have been reliant on OPEC spare capacity measured in, the millions of barrels. But we think as in 2025, they brought much of that on stream, the safety buffer is much, much smaller. And so as we realize that, okay, we can't rely on US shale, we can't rely on OPEC, we now have to incentivize exploration. We have to incentivize offshore drilling. That is going to require a meaningfully higher oil price than a price in the 50s or even 60s. We think that there's a possibility we'll see $70 by the end of next year. And so as we look to Canadian oil stocks at a time when US shale companies have depleted their inventory, we are seeing them looking north of the border as their needs to replace that inventory. We think that even if in a muted oil price environment for the beginning of the year, much more bullish in the second half of next year, that Canadian oil stocks can continue their massive outperformance.
So they're basically, if you heard that properly, right now we're looking at crude oil around $55 a barrel, and we're talking USD, right? We're not talking Canadian here. This is all American cost. But $55 a barrel is about what it goes for right now. I confirmed what he said earlier. He said by the end of next year they expect $70, which is $15 USD more. This will translate somewhere along the lines of 15 to 25 cents more at the pump. That's American.
Jesus.
And that's American, so you're probably looking more at like a 40 cents Canadian minimum. And what were we saying earlier? We're saying, like, consider this. Remember, I was saying how the provincial carbon tax that's going to be put by Alberta, supposedly April 1st, as per the MOU, $130 a ton, plus the pathway carbon capture project. We're looking, and the methane regulation, that's like $48 a ton. You're looking at Alberta's oil and gas to be 25 to 40% above world market price, basically making it impossible to compete with the US and Saudi Arabia. And now we're expecting the barrel to go up on top of that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, we're going to get screwed. Absolutely screwed. Like 40 cents a liter?
Yeah. No,
that's the new average? Damn.
Yeah. This is look, it's just at the end of the day, even if you believe in every bit of the climate change narrative, even if you think that is the most pressing issue, there's nothing that Canada can do. We're just too small. We emit almost nothing, 1% or less than 1% of global emissions. Nothing we can do. So what is the fucking point? So if it's not going to actually do anything, then it's just for virtue signaling. Why are we crippling our economy during an affordability crisis? Why are we making everything expensive just to signal virtue to the rest of the world? It's idiotic. It's absolute garbage. I don't know. Doesn't entirely surprise me, of course, but it's just it's from the outside looking in, it's a bit like what the fuck are you guys doing, man?
Here's another one that fits right in. I was doing, because it ties up with what you're talking about right now. While forget the free speech aspect of it, Abacus data is coming up, because obviously Canadians are not going to identify their biggest problem in Canada as being free speech. People are not paying attention whatsoever. But Abacus data just came out with a new survey yesterday, and they're mentioning that 67% of Canadians, the cost of living feels as bad as it's ever been. And 81% of Canadians are saying if you combine the cost of living here is the worst I can remember it being, 67%. The cost of living here is bad, but I can remember times where it was worse. So basically 81-ish% of people, 91, sorry. No, that doesn't make any sense. 67, that's 80. No, 88. Wow. Been a long day. 88% of people are saying that it's bad. 67 of them are like, this is as worse as I've ever seen. Like this is the reality. And if you look at, I'm going to show you that afterwards, but the top 3 priorities for the federal government right now, number one, 62% of the respondents are saying the rising cost of living, the healthcare system, and economic growth and jobs are the main problems, and ownership and housing affordability. But the rising cost of living is the number one problem. And here's where it gets very interesting is they mentioned that there's a clear partisan gap in how acute these affordability pressures feel. While a majority of liberal voters say the cost of living is the worst they can remember, that view is far more widespread among conservative voters, where 3/4 describe current conditions in those stark terms, comparing with 58% of liberals. So 75% of conservative voters are saying that the cost of living right now is the worst that they've ever seen, and 58% of liberal voters. When, I don't know if you remember the exit polls, but that means most of the liberal voters are older, and a lot of them are baby boomers. That's the major difference, right? The 65 and above are mostly voters for the Liberal Party, and then the younger generations are more conservative. So those numbers make 100% sense to me if you look at them, if you look at the exit polls. But man, 67% of Canadians that were asked are saying that this is the worst they've ever seen, and 75% of conservative voters are saying that this is the worst. So we can imagine as well that a lot of those conservative voters, it's similar to the US, they're in more remote area, like they're outside of the city, where they're getting, the jobs are not as many. There's not as much office jobs. Those guys are more laborers. They're more guys that works with their hands. They're in trade. That's not good, man. And our government is putting more and more and more costs on the people. Like we have that. As you said, even if you believed in the climate change narrative, even let's say play devil's advocate, you believe in this shit, are you supposed to destroy your country? Because what's the point? How are you going to, like, it makes zero sense. I don't even know how to explain it to people that believe that we should do this, that we need to literally tax ourselves out of existence in order to save the planet that we're really not impacting. Are we polluting our water streams? 100%. But the climate, that climate bullshit, I remember Al Gore in the 80s telling us that within 10 years we'd all be dead. Yeah. It's been a bit more than 10 years, Al Gore.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. It's I mean, I think the right angle is like, there's two issues here. One is like, is this, is the climate narrative, how true is this? Because as you say, they've been saying these same things for a whole long time, and it's not, at some point you're not going to be able to keep saying, 5 years from now, like at some point, if you keep saying the sky is falling, the boy who cried wolf, right? We all know that story. So that's one issue. And that's, that's a whole other thing. But let's say, again, as you said, even just for the sake of argument, let's say we accept all of that. Taxing in Canada, we don't have any emissions compared to the global average. Nothing that we do can do anything. So are we supposed to cripple our economy, cripple our tax ourselves into fucking the poorhouse just for feels, just for virtue signaling? It's nonsense. And virtue signaling to who? The major emitters, the US and China, they aren't doing this shit. So who are you virtue signaling to? If the major emitters aren't going to do anything, why are we taxing the shit out of ourselves in order to do something? It doesn't make any sense.
But again, if you read Mark Carney's book, it's all part of it. That's what his plan. It's just a control thing. At the end of the day, they are crippling our economy on purpose. And if you look at what Brookfield is doing in the US, Brookfield in the past year or two has bought the most expensive, the biggest oil pipeline in the US. Cost them $9 billion.
That's crazy.
Have you ever seen the picture? How big that thing is?
No,
It literally covers almost half of the U.S. I'll Google it.
Yeah.
Brookfield 9 billion oil pipeline U.S. It is the biggest
Colonial pipeline it's called.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So if you look, like there was a great picture. I actually shared that picture on a map, how big that thing was. It covers so many states. So this is the part.
So they're happy to invest in emissions,
of course,
and oil and gas, but don't you ever, like Canadians, have any fucking methane emissions or oil and gas, because we've got to crack down on our stuff while they're investing in all these they're putting down climate taxes and carbon taxes on us while they're buying oil and gas assets around the world. That's crazy.
But that's the goal. At the end of the day, man, if you don't have to be that big of a conspiracy theorist to see that something's wrong, that they're doing it on purpose. This is not forced on us. We are choosing to do this. This is a choice. This is policies. There's no reasons for us to not be as rich or richer as Saudi Arabia. We choose through policies to keep our natural resources in the ground. This is simple to me. You don't need to be that big of a conspiracy theorist to understand that Mark Carney works for Brookfield still. He's met with them many times. There's a joke going around that everywhere Brookfield goes, either Mark Carney just left or he's about to visit. That's the joke that's going on all around the world. And you look at what they're buying. They're pushing carbon capture. Guess what? Brookfield has carbon capture technology. They're pushing modular homes in Canada. Guess what? Brookfield has modular home technology. They're pushing EV mandates in Canada. Guess what? Brookfield has a department that specializes in putting together charging stations on a massive scale. You look at oil and gas, they're trying to stop oil and gas in Canada and tax it out of existence while purchasing the largest pipeline in the US. Why do you think they're doing that? They're crushing our economy on purpose so that they can buy the assets for cents on the dollars. That's all it is. It's like a big competitor. When two competitors go head to head and one's a lot richer than the other, they will crush them and make sure that they can buy them cheap. That's exactly what we're seeing, except he's doing it country size. Like he's doing it on the whole fucking country. And people think that guy's an idiot. Hey, if you think Mark Carney's an idiot, give your head a shake, because that guy's not a moron. Unfortunately, I wish he was a moron, but he's not. He's a very, very smart guy with very powerful friends. And it's insane that it's going on right under our nose. And everywhere. Free speech. It's free speech. It's taxes. It's our economy. No deal with the US. Like the list goes on and on and on. And people are still supporting him, saying he's a great leader.
Yeah. I mean, they're focused on methane. Well, we got all these other issues going on. I mean,
it just blows my mind, man. It just blows my mind. I don't know what it's going to take for Canadians to wake up to this, to say that there's something really, really, really wrong here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it's interesting how they think the Canadians are going to be excited about this. The Canadians aren't going to give a shit. What was the press release? Like, what an exciting day. What an exciting day. No, Canadians, they don't care. We have actual problems to worry about, not the methane emissions from the cow farts.
Hey, 25%. The latest data shows that 25%. I was using 25% of households, but the new data is indicating that 25% of Canadians are feeling food insecurities, that they are not sure if they can afford to eat or if they have to skip a meal to afford rent. And we're not talking about people sitting on their asses doing nothing. We're talking about people that are working. Remember, I had made the calculations. I was, by my numbers, if you calculated the essentials, like essentials of today, obviously not from 150 years ago, but of today, like housing, a car, transportation, some type of transportation, your food, your rent, your heat, your electricity, a cell phone, internet, and one kid in school for a family of 3. If you look at an average of between $120,000 to $150,000 a year household, because that's about what they say the median, the middle is.
Yep.
I had calculated between 91% to 103% of their salary is gone just by affording cell phones, internet, place to live, a car, type of like transportation, your insurance, your food. Those are necessities in today's world. 91 to 103% of the salaries are gone, depending where they live. If they live in Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, it's going to be more expensive, obviously. But this is the reality in which we live, and somehow our government is more concerned about climate change and censoring us than they are about addressing the real issues that we're seeing, where people are looking at, should I eat or should I pay my rent? And now you start looking at the new numbers that are coming out for the youth. I was reading some articles this morning where they were saying that back in the 80s, 90s, it would take a 20-year-old about 5 years to save enough money for a 20% down payment on a house. So 5 years. You know what the estimates are now today? 14 to 17 years. 14 to 17 years. So they tripled in the past 35 years, give or take. This is what the articles were showing. And it wasn't just one, it was multiple of them that were indicating the same data. So 14 years to be able to afford a house. Like, how many kids right now are getting out of university and they can't find a job? Now, we can argue if university is as relevant as it used to be. I don't think so. I think trade is way smarter. At least my son, I will never recommend he goes to university. Trade is probably the best place. Learn how to fix some robots, bitch, because it's coming.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But all to say that wherever you look outside of the boomers, they're the ones that are a bit outside of the norm. And I'm not talking every single one of them, obviously. I'm referring to the majority of them. But the people that still support liberal policies are the ones that are not really hurting compared to the rest of the population. And as we've spoken about so many times on the show, they created so much wealth because of their house or houses. So they're set. They don't worry about this. If something bad happens, they refinance the home. They have a bunch of equity in them and they're good to go. But the average Canadian can't afford that anymore. So it's just, it's insane, man. I really wonder what it's going to take for the average Canadian to be so pissed off that it's going to get violent. Because that's what worries me, is violence. Because at one point it's going to break. And you know, when people break normally, it's a very slow process. But once that break happens, it's not good. The French invented the guillotine in order to deal with that. We can't deal with this shit anymore. The Americans went to war over a tea tax. Let's just remember that the independence movement in the US was a tiny little thing. They weren't arguing for 42.3% of our salaries leaving to taxes like it is right now in Canada. So when it blows, it's gonna be ugly, man. But sorry for the bad news, guys. It's just those 3 things was kind of one into the other. They kind of prove a point. But methane costs are coming. Higher gas price, $15 USD a barrel more. which will translate to 15 to 25 cents American at the pumps. That's by the end of next year. And Abacus data is showing that 67% of Canadians are saying that that the cost of living feels as bad as it's ever been.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's certainly got a lot of problems, a lot of real problems, and I really don't think that focusing on cow farts and methane emissions is gonna sort the problem. I think it at some point something's got to give. Something has to happen to bring the affordability crisis down. People cannot afford to live here in Canada, and it's going to be something's got to happen. I mean, and whatever. I don't even know if the government has the ability to fix these problems, but certainly not if they're focusing on cracking down on free speech and taxing methane. Like these are not the issues. These are not Canadians' priorities. So we'll see. I mean, it's I think Carney's on the verge of getting a majority. So once that happens, there's not a whole lot we can do about it for the next 3 or 4 years. He's going to basically do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I was talking about this. I released a video today. There are rumors floating around by multiple ministers that there are more conservative crossing over coming, that there's a lot of let's quantify what a lot means. I don't know what a lot is. Is it 2? Is it 20? I don't know. But there are more. The speculations out there from liberal ministers is that there are more coming. They just need one more and we're screwed. So
yeah. I mean, I think you're not. I think anyone will be naive if they don't think that they're going to get that. Because now that they're only one away, now they're going to be pushing really hard.
Oh no! Now people are talking about it because Pierre Poilievre talked about it over the weekend. I've been talking about this for like 6 weeks. He was now finally saying that it looks like Mark Carney is going to try to get a majority by backroom doors. I'm like, hey asshole! I've been talking, bro. I've been talking about this for 6 weeks. I predicted this when D'Entremont moved to the Liberals back in November. I'm like, this is coming. That was like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm no political strategist with massive AI softwares analyzing the trend and reviewing. No, I'm just pretty common sense. And wow, if that guy moves, that guy quits. That means they're 2 away. Of course they're gonna come.
Yeah. Well, so I can't believe Poilievre's just like, yeah, bro, like you're asleep at the wheel. It's because this is why you've lost all these people. Like this isn't happening in a vacuum. If these conservative leaders, or sorry, not leaders, but politicians, if they thought there was a point to staying in the Conservative Party, they probably would. Like that latest one who left, he was not like some red Tory who was basically a liberal. A month ago, he was shit talking the guys who do cross the floor.
Yep.
Like if you lost him, like you're just not offering anything for these guys.
Or the fact that he met with the CPP party same week he left. No, that guy, Markham, is recognized as a very Asian controlled. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to Markham.
No.
I have. If Brampton is small India, Markham is small Asia. Like if you go to Markham, it is fucking Asian, as in Chinese. I used to live in Toronto, right? So as a sales guy, I was always going across the city. And Markham, if you want Asian food, you go to Markham. If you want Indian food, you go to Brampton. So yeah, it is definitely like, man, Michael Mock can barely speak English. Remember, I played a few videos of him, and he cannot pronounce L's. He's like, hero, like that dude, hero. That dude ain't speaking English. He hasn't been off the boat for that long. So I don't, at the end of the day, I don't think that Pierre Poilievre is to blame for the cross. He's to blame for a lot of shit. But those crossing over, I don't think it's his fault. I think those guys were just leaving no matter what. They've been offered something. Oh, did you see that? Oh, man, that's a great conversation. Yeah. D'Entremont today was announced that he received $431 million subsidy for his writing. What? That's a coincidence, right? Yeah, I'm going to find the... I think it was 41 million for his writing. Where did I see this? I'm gonna, if you want to take some comments, I saw that today. Hopefully it wasn't million and I misread that. Hopefully it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. But
yes,
I saw an article today showing that D'Entremont just received a contribution from the Liberal Party for his writing. I'm like, really? Like a month, 6 weeks later? Coincidence.
That's funny. Yeah, we'll take a few comments while we're waiting for you to find that there. Mitch Horner says food prices are high because of corporate greed. Farmers have been selling their beef at the same prices years ago. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a factor. I certainly don't think farmers are making any more money than they were a couple of years ago. Wherever the profits are going, it ain't to the farmers market.
That's an interesting conversation because I was at the butcher. We're starting to feed my son solid food, and we're going for the high quality stuff. So we're going for the bone. How do you call it? What's inside, like la moelle, or what's inside the bones?
Oh, marrow.
Yeah, bone marrow. Super high in nutrients, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the butcher that's close to here, and we're having a conversation. She's from Tunisia originally. Super nice woman, really, really cool girl. Like she's super help. She's giving me bones, like massive cow bones for free for my German Shepherd, just because she loves dogs. And so I went there and I'm like, hey, can you help me out? I'm looking for bone marrow. They're super hard to find. She's like, yeah, they're hard to come by. I haven't had any for a while, but let me go check. She comes back from the freezer. She's like, oh, I had a Ziploc with like 6 or 7 of them. So we just start talking, and I started asking about veal because my wife loves veal, right? She eats it all the time. I'm not the biggest fan.
Baby cow? Like a baby cow?
It's so funny because that's exactly how I call it. Baby cows.
So tender.
Yes. So tender. So she's saying, so I was talking to the butcher, it's one of those corner butchers, super clean, super nice. Like they have really high end, like they have good quality pieces of meat. Yep. And I'm like, man, why is it that my wife can't find veal anywhere? She's like, well, the problem is that the small farmers that actually produce that veal are being run out of business because they can't compete. She's like, what I used to pay $6 a pound, $6 a kilo 2 years ago, I now pay 18.
What?
And she says it's super hard to come by. And she was just talking about, she was almost sounding like a conspiracy theorist. She was saying that now they're opening up the border to Chinese meat and to American meat, and Americans are going to start selling us their clone meats. I don't know if you know that, but in the state, clone meats has been available unlabeled for 15 years now, some stupid like that. It's like 2008, 2010. Yeah, it's been around forever. And I didn't know that until I started researching in Canada. And in the US, it's been around for more than a decade. But all to say that she was implying that this is where the meat's going to come from. They're literally going to sell us their crap. And that's all we're going to have to sell. Because we had so much. Did you realize that back in the 80s and the 90s, they had more cows on the market than we do now? And our country has exploded in population. We have less cows, less meat available, especially beef, since the 80s and compared to the 80s and the 90s. It's insane, man. Even the corner butchers feeling it. And you could see, like, she's just a really good woman. And she was like, I feel so bad. People come up here, they buy veal, and I'm like, she's like, she gets it for $18 a kilo. She resells it for 21. So super small amount of, and she's like, I feel so bad when I see their faces. They're like, wow, I can't afford that, blah, blah. But that's the reality. Like, you're starting to see the really small businesses. I encourage the people out there, the people listening, if talk to your butcher, talk to the people in your neighborhood that actually has to buy certain produce, and ask them how bad it's become. It's insane, man. It's not just us. It's not a conspiracy. They will tell you how bad it's become. They have problems getting something as stupid as bone marrow.
Yeah, that's crazy, eh? That's surprising that it's just hard to find. But yeah, I guess this is what happens when everything goes to shit. Is all the things that we take for granted, all the products that we expect to be there, they're just not going to be there someday.
No, it's reminding of, remember during COVID, there's certain things you couldn't find anymore, or things were locked behind grills, like you couldn't access them.
Remember, there was a run on toilet paper in the first couple days.
Yeah. So yeah, because that's the biggest problem.
That's so stupid.
The world's going to shit, literally, and the best thing you need to do is to buy toilet paper.
Wiping your ass.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
But you're starting to see it. I don't know for you guys, but I see it all the time. You go to the store and there doesn't seem to be a lot on the shelves. Like, you can tell that the shelves are not completely stacked. Like, you're looking in the meat section, the produce sections, like the quality's not the same. It's not as available, and it's fucking expensive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the quality's gone down and the price has gone up. It's a fucking story of our lives.
Yeah, but it's it ain't good, bro.
No,
it ain't good. That is for
definitely
not.
Yeah. Do we?
There's a bunch of comments. Oh, that's all. I have some other stuff, but I just had one more. Well, there's a couple of ones I wanted. This one is just because it's funny. The Department of Crown Indigenous Relation is sealing all reports filed by a Kamloops, BC First Nation that was paid to exhume the purported graves of 250 children at an Indian residential school. So now Blacklock's reporter is reporting that they're sealing all reports, making them no longer available for demands by journalists under shit, I'm drawing a blank. What is the
Truth and Reconciliation?
No. The request that you can make a request.
Like a FOIA or Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of Information, exactly. So you can ask for those reports. No, not anymore. Those reports are going to get sealed
because they're going
to get sealed that there was nothing, was nothing there.
Yep.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about, this is super quick, but Florida becomes the first state in the US to remove all vaccine mandates. So no more vaccine mandates whatsoever in Florida. You want them? No problem. They're still there. You don't want them? They made it impossible for businesses, schools, public to ask for vaccines. What a concept. And as I posted about this morning, and man, I pissed people off. I could see my follower count go down when I posted this. I posted this on Instagram, something along the lines of Florida becomes the first state to remove all vaccine mandates. Can you imagine living in a place where my body, my choice actually means that you don't have to take something that you don't want to take, not just another pretext to murder the unborn? Yeah, people don't like it when I talk like that, but yeah, still a fact, man. It's okay, right? Those feminists are going to tell me that abortion is my body, my choice, but me refusing a vaccine,
but not yours.
That's not the same thing. No, my body, my choice, but your body, my choice too. Yeah, sure. Cool story. But yeah, I found that interesting because I remember, man, during COVID, when we were all locked up and I was living in the woods by myself like a hermit, I was looking at Ron DeSantis in Florida, love him or hate him, and reopening his schools before everybody else, removing all the mandates. People didn't have to wear masks. People were outside just living their lives. People were just moving all over the US. They were moving to Florida. All over Canada, they were moving to Florida. And I was like, man, Florida seems like a cool place to be.
Yeah, fuck. I got DeSantis. Basically, just speaking of, I think probably going to see DeSantis against JD Vance for probably the presidential nomination.
Oh yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised.
And the winner of that is going to go against fucking Gavin Newsom, which means whoever wins the Republican primary will probably become the president. Because there's no way that they would fucking elect a reptilian. Actually, I say that, but of course we know there's a way, but I don't think so. I would like to think that it won't happen, but you never know.
That's interesting. Pam is a spy.
Yeah,
Pam is saying that I worked for Brookfield at one time.
Yeah. How long ago was this, Pam?
It's okay. Do you know that there's rumors saying that Pierre Poilievre owns shares of Brookfield?
Oh, Jesus Christ. No way.
It's through. So I was seeing the reports. People are saying Pierre
crazy.
Poilievre owns, but it's through an ETF. You know what an ETF is, right?
Yep.
So it was through an ETF. It was just like, imagine an ETF similar to the SP 500, but instead of being the biggest, like Brookfield would be part of it. And by buying that ETF, you automatically you don't really have shares of it.
Yeah, you have like basically you have exposure to it. If Brookfield goes up, your ETF should go up.
But like if you had a lot of money to put aside that you don't need, it's a pretty fucking safe bet to put.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's just solid investing, man. That's like just following Nancy Pelosi's investment strategies,
and they exist.
Oh, yeah.
If you're interested in making money, there are funds out there that follow the investment of Nancy Pelosi, and they make a shit ton of money. Now, morally, I can't do it. But if you don't care about morals, all you want to do is make money, follow Brookfield. You're not going to lose money on Brookfield over the next 3 years. It already went up more than 33% since April, since Mark Carney was elected prime minister. It ain't going to stop. It's going to continue making a lot of money. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Was another comment here that I liked. Lost Art 420 says no bodies have been found, and now they're going to hide the truth of that. Yeah, and that's exactly what that's all about, right? They don't, because at the same time they've got all this big push against. They call it denialism, right? Denialism. They call it residential school denialism. And I always ask people, what do you mean by that? Because I don't think anybody is denying that residential schools exist, but that's not what they mean. They mean if you say, they've never found any bodies at any of these quote unquote grave sites, that's denialism, even though it's just a fact. They have not found one body. and most people don't know that. If you ask someone, like a normal person, hey, how many bodies do you think they found? They'll say like 200 and something. If you tell them it's zero, they're shocked.
It's all propaganda. It's 100% propaganda that was never proven to be true. That's how strong media is. That's how easy it is to push a narrative that is completely incorrect, and people just read the headlines. They just, oh no, they found hundreds of corpses, kid corpses, native kids' corpses right next to a church in Kamloops, BC. Let's burn some churches. Because that's what happened. Like, you're not going to convince me that over 100 Christian churches were burned right after Trudeau said that hundreds of bodies have been found in Kamloops. It's just a coincidence that more than 100 churches have been burned. It's now that's hate speech. Just saying. If you want to see the definition of hate speech, that would be hate speech. Not that I believe in it. I'm just saying. But I wonder if they're going to be held accountable. It's a joke. Clearly is a joke.
They're not going to be.
Clearly is a joke.
Definitely
is a
not.
joke. Clearly.
No, that's right.
Oh, before I forget, guys, we need to talk about our sponsor of the day. Where is my damn sponsor sheet? There we go. Today's episode of the Political Orphans brought to you by Gabble, the world's first live debate video app on the market. You can choose to debate or watch others do it, but if you have the balls, you can debate yourself, debate other people. There's always people that show up. There's 10 subjects a day, 3-minute rounds. I'm going to do their first event next week on Tuesday. I'm going to show up. They found a lefty liberal, a lefty American to come debate me. So we're going to do a 30-minute. Yeah. I just signed an agreement with them this morning actually, to go debate a lefty. So we don't know the subjects. I don't care. They're going to provide some subjects. I'm like, guys, I don't care. Just name the subject. I have an opinion. It's okay. I'll have an opinion on whatever subject you bring in.
Oh yeah, sure. Of course.
But yeah, so if you want to participate, if you want to see what Gabble's all about, look in the description below. Look for affiliate link. It's right there. And yeah, come join on Tuesday. It's free. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I love to debate people. So it's going to be interesting.
No, this should be good. Mitch Horner says they are denying us the proof. Yeah, I mean, this is talking about the residential schools, and that's exactly what they're doing, right?
That's denialism right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's just this inversion of the truth. That again, you see this all over, wokeism, if you want to call it that. But if they actually had any sort of proof, they'd be all over it, right? Like the only reason they're making this so you can't find these documents is because they know that there's nothing there. And that's what makes this go from, maybe just misguided or being wrong to I guess, evil, if you want to call it. They know there's nothing there, and they're still pushing this. They're still demonizing people who are asking just simple questions. People are not even denying. They're saying, listen, we just want to see some proof. The fact that, and the attitude is, how dare you ask for proof, right? Because they know it's not true. They're the ones
who should believe us.
Yeah, they're the ones who are hurting, the cause or whatever. They're the ones who are turning people against this shit by this nonsense, because
100%.
And they're going to blame the denialists. No, it's not the denialists that are the problem. It's that you are making claims you refuse to back up, and when called on it, you go in attack mode, or you shut down Freedom of Information Acts. You shut down information. It's the side that who hides shit and shuts down speech and censors. That's never the winning side. That's never the right side.
It's okay to make a mistake. I make mistakes all the time, and I'll be the first one to come on the show to say I was wrong about this, I was wrong about that. Here's what actually happened. But they made a mistake. Let's say that it was a real mistake, that they thought there were irregularities in the ground from the sound technology that they were using, and then they excavated, and then we fucked up. Those were just rocks. Our bad. Sorry. That would have been, but no, they just keep on literally digging the hole and digging their hole and digging their hole. And now it's like, sorry, you can't ask for those documents. They're sealed. It's going to be national security soon, because they need to protect the fact that they didn't find shit.
Yeah, exactly right. As Trevor Benson says, one would think for such a spiritual people, they would want to give a proper burial. And that's also how you know that they suspect that there's nothing actually there. Because if they did, they would want to exhume them, A, to give them a proper burial, and B, then they could actually have proof for their claims. But now they know that there's nothing there, and you know.
Or if they had the claim, you know, they would have a name. They would have the lineage of families.
They'd be on the $20 bill for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? They'd be changing the names of high schools across the country.
100%. But if that was true, 100%.
And that's how you know it's not true. But they want to keep the grift going. They want to keep the grift going, and so they need to protect the narrative.
It's more control of speech.
Yeah.
As soon as, if I question, I'm denying. Wow, what about critical thinking? Is it not what critical thinking is all about? It's like when the woke tells me the science is settled. Hey, asshole, do you realize that the scientific method is to have your peers try to break your hypothesis? You make a claim, you prove your claim, then their job is to destroy your claim, to make everything possible to make sure that you're wrong. And if they can't do it, you're like, oh shit, he did find something interesting. That is the scientific the scientific method, is to question everything, but the science is settled. Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Science is never settled. That's the whole point of science. I just want to say
that's what you call religion.
Yeah,
that's what you call religion.
That's right. Thank you to Lost Art 420, who has gifted 5 memberships. So 5 of you lucky listeners will find yourselves with a free month membership, and you can thank Lost Art 420 for that. Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate that.
Before I forget, I just want to say that tomorrow we are joined by National Post columnist and author of Don't Be Canada. He is joining us. His name is, man, what am I drawing a blank? Timothy. No, not Timothy. That doesn't.
No, it's
Hopper. It's Mr. Hopper. Like, what the fuck am I smoking? Tristan. Yeah, Tristan with a T-I-N. It's strange. Tristin. Hopper is joining us tomorrow. National Post columnist and author of Don't Be Canada. And on Thursday, we are joined by John Carpe from the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms to speak about the new report, Death by 1,000 Clicks. It's actually pretty clever, Death by 1,000 Clicks.
What's it about?
Do you get it? It's about internet censorship.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
You don't know that? Yeah.
Death by 1,000 cuts or paper cuts.
Exactly. Welcome to the conversation.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Should we pin it there? Do you want to take it? Do you want to?
We still have 4 minutes technically.
All right, we'll take a couple comments here.
Let's see this. Hold on. I want to see this. If that's expensive, $1,600 for half a cow here in BC. That sounds stupid expensive. Am I on track here? But that
I know. I think there's a lot of meat in a half cow. I feel like that would feed a family for a couple, maybe a month or 2 or 3. Family of 4, probably
more than a month. I hope. $1,600 in meat and what? Goddamn, you're a big family.
Probably 6 months. I'd say family 4, probably 6 months.
$600. I'm gonna check that out. I don't know. I don't think I've ever bought half a cow.
I guess, the question is, I knew a guy. I used to work in Grand Manan on the fish farms a while back. And Grand Manan is this island off the coast.
Repeat that in English. Are you having a seizure right now?
No, there's an island off the coast of New Brunswick called Grand Manan. I used to work at the fish farms there. This is like 10 or 15 years ago. And one of the guys that worked there, every year, every spring, he would just go buy a cow for like $400 at the market or whatever. There was a cow market down the road. And he just throw them in the backyard. And he just spend the summer there in the backyard. You get fat as fuck. And then it was a calf he would buy, and he'd grow over the course of summer. And then they just slaughter him in the fall, and he'd feed the family all year. I always thought that was a great great way to do it. Trevor says all winter. Feed your family all winter.
Yeah, because from what I'm seeing right now, super quick search is saying that $1,600, that the price of a half cow right now is estimated at about $2,640 to $2,840.
Oh wow!
So you're literally $100, almost $1,000. Sorry, under, but that's based on $8.50 a pound. So it seems that that's pretty common around the $2,500 for a half cow. Yep. But you know, man, this is one of the things I love about Alabama, where I spend a lot of my time, like 6 months out of the year normally. People hunt all the time. People don't give a fuck. There's deers all over the place. like around the campground where our RV's at. You see them all the time. You hear people. It's fucking redneck as shit, right? It's fucking Alabama, bro.
Is there feral pigs there too? Is there any feral pigs?
There's a bit of everything over there, man.
Yeah,
it's it's one of those places where I think there's still a season. I don't think you're allowed to hunt outside a season, but there's not a lot of restrictions on how many you can get. So you could literally kill like a buck. You're probably looking at 150, 180 pounds, give or take.
So, no, what more than that? I would think.
No, of meat is what I'm saying. Like once it's because you lose half, right?
Okay,
you lose about a half.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're probably looking at about a. Yeah, I'm talking about.
Sure. Yeah.
For some reason the number I have in my head is 150 pounds, give or take, of meat. So and you lose about half, right? Man,
I don't think imagine they don't have very big legs or anything. Their legs aren't very thick.
But imagine having 3-4 a year. You just have a few you have a few not coolers, but you have a few fridge to store them. Yeah. And you just have it cut by the butcher in different cuts and you feed. That's what I like about down there, man. It's I would never buy meat. I would never buy meat at the store. I know where the meat comes from. It's from nature. Plus, it's, their winters, they'll get minus something, like maybe a -2, -3, and sometimes they'll get lower than that, but it's not sustained. It doesn't stay. Yeah. So there's technology now. You can literally grow year round because you can buy those. There's new technologies that was developed here actually by engineering students that they can grow vegetables at -20, -30 in the winter because they developed like a dome technology.
Oh, really?
That they can keep doing. Oh, yeah, it's very cool. And the patents are available online. They made them free. It's very cool. So you're at a place like that where you can hunt. There's not a lot of limitations on how many you can hunt. You kill 3-4 a year, stack them, grow vegetables year round, and you just buy the rest that you're not producing yourself.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Wow. Yeah.
Especially at the prices now. Damn.
Yeah, fuck yeah. All right, guys. We're going to put a pin in there. Bit of a slow news day, but we still had an excellent conversation nonetheless, as always. Thanks, guys, for those comments. Thank you for, let me get that name right. Lost Art 420 for the 5 memberships there. Guys, if you are just tuning in for the first time, you want to support the channel, please consider becoming a member. You can do that through YouTube for the low price of $2.99 per month. Other than that, you can also buy us a coffee. You can see it in your upper right. And Nico, do you want to take this last comment before we
Yeah, just she's pretty much confirming what I'm saying. Steer in Alberta, $5 a pound for 1,000 pound.
Oh yeah.
About 5,000 for a full steer, you lose about 57%. Yeah, that's the number I had in mind too. Like somewhere around 50% is what you're losing to the bones, the crap, the organs. Probably I would keep the organs. My dog would fucking love me if I kept all the organs. Plus, my wife's becoming a vampire. She likes that stuff too. So.
Oh, you see? She likes that shit.
Oh yeah, she'll eat the red. Like just smelling it to me is just like, ugh. I don't like that stuff at all, but she does.
I don't understand liver, man. I don't know. That's like a totally
she loves liver.
That's
she
like a
loves
totally
it.
different type of meat. You smell it cooking, and it's just
she loves it. She absolutely loves it. There's a French delicacy that it's fucking disgusting as shit. Yeah, but it's I don't remember how we called it, but it was literally made out of pig's blood.
Is it blood pudding or something?
It's something along the lines. Like it's French. It's not quite, but it is. It looks like paste. Like you can make pieces of it and put them in the pan. No, croton is so delicious. If you've ever had
croton?
Oh, bro, that is a French thing. It is nasty. It's literally. You eat all the nasty
like pork spread from Quebec made with ground pork, onions, milk, breadcrumbs, spices.
Oh yeah.
Served cold Toast for breakfast.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I ate that. I ate a lot of that when I was a kid.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, crotons are the best.
A meat
It's
spread.
literally all the nasty part that is shredded,
Okay.
all stuck in its own fat. It's literally you look at it, it's probably 30% fat.
And you
spread that shit on toast. Not only did I used to spread it on toast, I would spread it on toast with butter on it first, then gratin. Yeah, but it comes from a time where settlers came here, right? We didn't have a lot. You kept everything. Plus, you know what? You had to eat fatty to keep that energy going during the winter. It's not like you had access to massive amount of potatoes and rice and stuff. Like you were carbing up. You were eating a lot of fat during the winter, but it is delicious. If you've never tried that, oh bro,
really, eh? Man, no wonder. No wonder
you get a
so fucked up.
You get a French baguette, like freshly baked baguette.
Yeah.
You get croton and you just fucking spread that shit on French baguette. I'm hungry for some croton now. Thanks a lot, man.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, excuse me.
Well, sorry, bro, for bothering. Sorry.
You're keeping it late.
Yeah.
I mean, it is 10 after 10 here at my time. Okay, guys, we're gonna put Binner there. I think we got all the formalities out of the way.
Yep.
Nothing left to do, but say see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Peace.